Well, hi everybody. Ken Johnson here with you this evening, and we are tracking this area down to the south of Northwest Texas. Anyway, this is down into the Fort Worth area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. Severe thunderstorm warnings do include Fort Worth. Now, the line of thunderstorms that is moving into Fort Worth from the west has had a history of producing some destruction back towards Mineral Wells and Weatherford. But over the last couple of scans, the line doesn't appear to be quite as strong as it was earlier, looking at some 70 and 80 mile per hour winds. But it looks like that line might have weakened a little, but I still expect 60 to 70 mile per hour winds over Fort Worth. This is coming into the west side now, out towards Azle and Aledo, and this will be moving over the city here shortly, up towards Keller and into Grapevine eventually, Arlington and Forest Hill and to Mansfield. We're also seeing severe thunderstorm warning south of there, down towards Granbury and Glen Rose, Stephenville getting in on the act too. And keep in mind, this is a line of thunderstorms, and the winds in this line of thunderstorms are all blowing out. They're not blowing. There's not a push-pull effect here, so I'm not worried about tornadic activity at this time really, but we do see strong winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour that could create some wind damage across Fort Worth, and it looks like it'll move quickly through Fort Worth. Time right now is 5:41. Should be moving into the western side of Dallas after 6 o'clock, and should be east of I-35 and east of Dallas after 7 o'clock. From there, it'll move across East Texas as a line of thunderstorms overnight tonight. Now, we can go up to the north, and we can see at least in Northwest Texas, the showers are trying to come to an end now in Wichita Falls. They may taper off for a little while, but remember, we got the wraparound moisture later tonight, so we can see some more showers over us later on, but nothing heavy or severe, but it is going to turn pretty windy overnight tonight. Now, we can also see to the east, along a warm front, there are some tornado warnings tonight. This is the storm that actually was near Decatur earlier today. Tornado warnings on it. Let's see if any of the streamers have any video to show. It looks like this particular guy does not have anything. Looks like there is no stream on that one. I know I've been watching some of these other guys. Let's see what this guy here has. Let's see if he has anything interesting to watch. This is, look at how humid it is there, 65 dew point, where this particular fella is at. And he's chasing into northeast Texas this afternoon and this evening. And, of course, it looks like he's on the road. And when you get over in this part of the country, a lot of trees over that way, so it makes chasing a lot more difficult. So I don't really see anything too interesting there. Let's see about this guy, see if he has anything to show. His temperature there is 73, dew point 66.9. That's really humid air. That's what you need to see for severe weather. You need to get those dew points that are on it. This Brandon Copic guy, I think he uses a lot of streaming with Radar Omega. He usually has some pretty good stuff out there. I don't see anything, though, as of right now. But there are some tornado warnings in southeastern Oklahoma. There's this tornado warning to the east, west of Shreveport, Louisiana. Looks like Arklatex into western and southwestern Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma will be the place for tornadoes for the supercells this evening. And then you got that line of storms that will cross East Texas overnight tonight, and that will produce swaths of wind damage and perhaps a couple spin-ups within that line of thunderstorms. But for right now, again, Denton, heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds moving towards you. We got strong winds now moving into the Fort Worth area, and that will also cross Dallas. I can switch sources, and we can look at some of the radar velocities out of this stuff. Give it a second, it'll load up. And where you see these blue colors, that represents those really strong winds into Benbrook, Azle, that's now east of Weatherford, moving into at least the western and northwestern sides of Fort Worth, heading up towards Saginaw. Moving through Rome at this time. It's going to head towards Keller, Flower Mound, and maybe some gusty winds into Denton. Then from there, it'll carry over, like I say, after 6 o'clock, about 6:30 or so, into Dallas. Moving through the Duncanville area, Mesquite, and then from after 7 o'clock, this should be over there near Terrell and Forney and Mesquite and east of those areas. It's moving pretty fast, but those are some pretty strong winds out towards Lakeside and over towards Azle and the Saginaw White Settlement. I believe that's pretty close to the National Guard or the Air Force base out that way. But that's going to be crossing through, and where you see these darker blue colors, that's some really strong winds that will produce swaths of wind damage and perhaps some power outages right through the heart of Fort Worth. And again, that's going to head towards Arlington, Grand Prairie, maybe up towards Keller and South Lake, Colleyville, maybe Grapevine, North Richland Hills, over towards perhaps Irving eventually, and then it heads kind of over towards the Dallas area. So any of these areas, this is not tornadic, at least at this time, but it is going to show some strong winds that could create some power outages and some damage across Fort Worth. All right, well, that's all I have for right now. As these storms track through the Metroplex, I'll have updates as needed. Everybody have a great evening. And, of course, in my